How's it going, YouTube? So, the gameplay that we're going to be watching was actually on my Twitch channel, which, if you'd like to check out, it is twitch.tv/xdad. I stream about 4 days a week, but on Mondays is Magic Monday, and that's when we play a Magic deck that I really enjoy or it was recommended by you. So, the deck we're going to be playing today is one of my favorites. I'm a big fan of combo decks. I love winning in one turn, and not only winning in one turn, what about winning on the first turn? So this is a deck called Neobrand, named after its namesake cards, Neoform and Grizzlebrand. And my version I have dubbed as Turbo Neobrand. So why is that? What makes this turbo? This deck already tries to win on turn one. How can you make it any faster? Well, with the addition of Serum Powder. So how does this deck work? Let me explain for people that do not know. So it starts with this, Allosaurus Rider, 7-mana creature. You can pay for it by exiling 2 green cards from your hand rather than pay its mana cost. And its power and toughness, they're not particularly relevant, but they can be. So it's essentially a free, quote-unquote, 7-mana green creature, which we can also tutor with Summoner's Pact. Neoform, 2-mana sorcery, sacrifice a creature, search for a creature that costs 1 more from your deck and put it into play with a 1/1 counter. 7 plus 1 equals Grizzle Daddy. Now, Grizzlebrand, the best creature ever printed, is how we win. It is the way we win the game. Pay 7 life, draw 7 cards. We can draw our entire deck for the most part. Nourishing Shoal, exiling green cards like 15 mana worm, gaining 15 life, draw 14 more cards, and we win, right? Well, how do we win? So, normally, Neobrand wins the game with Gut Shot and Endurance, or Laboratory Maniac, drawing out your deck and then drawing when there's no cards in your deck and you win the game. I have decided that I would rather try to just put a Grizzlebrand into play on turn 1 as consistently as possible. And usually, Grizzlebrand just wins the game. Other changes that I have made. Well, if we no longer have a way to win on turn 1, I want to make sure that my Grizzlebrand lives. And that's where these come into play. So, Pact of Negation, played in the sideboard of this deck quite often. It is now right in the main. In fact, I would love to be able to play 4, but I'm not exactly sure the split yet between this. So, the goal is mulligan as aggressively as possible with Serum Powder and just try to find our combo pieces, our Allosaurus Rider, Neoform, and maybe even Eldritch Evolution, all to be played on the first turn. Get the Grizzlebrand into play, draw a bunch of cards, gain a bunch of life, and then, when we have the Grizzlebrand in play, we are going to be countering any kill spell, and then when it gets back to us, we will Angel's Grace, preventing us from losing the game, and then we should, with a mixture of all the Allosaurus Riders that we've drawn from the Grizzlebrand and the Grizzlebrand itself, win the game. I think this deck is super, super fun. If you enjoy playing Magic while your opponent gets to play almost no Magic, this is the deck. But if you also enjoy a deck that is it is a coin flip. You have to feel like the most lucky Magic player of all time to enter into any event. Other changes that I've made, which will be noted, mana confluences and City of Brasses instead of the Pain lands, the Draw lands, Breeding Pool, Botanical Sanctum. We really need the colored mana so that we can play Angel's Grace. We really need to be able to play Angel's Grace. We need to be able to combo off. Additionally, we're playing Manamorphose because there are going to be some games where we have a Turn Timber as our land and a Chancellor of the Tangle as our other mana, and we don't have the blue to cast the Neoform. So the Manamorphose ensures that we have the colored mana to be able to cast the Neoform, sometimes even cast Angel's Grace, but it doesn't really come up in particular. But it's also a green card too to help pitch to the Allosaurus Rider, and it draws a card, which you'll see in one of the games is relevant. Drawing a card is really nice. You'll also see that I have 4 worms, 2 Grizzlebrands. We have a couple copies. That's just in case we exile them with Serum Powder. If we exile a Grizzlebrand, we still know that we can get the other one. And the worms, if we exile a few of the worms, I still need to know that I'm able to Summoner's Pact to get a 15 mana spell to exile to the Nourishing Shoal. So the goal is to be as consistent as possible, as fast as possible, and to not necessarily win on the first turn, but to stick a Grizzle Daddy into play, and that should end the game. Our sideboard, there is a reason why I no longer own these. I don't think that they're particularly good. You'll see in the gameplay that I don't really play with them, but they're an interesting inclusion that I've thought about playing that doesn't really come up. Leyline of Sanctities for discard, super, super important. Leyline is really nice against that deck. Any decks that play Thoughtseize, you need them against those decks. And you'll find that you'll board these in and board the Serum Powders out when you're on the draw, and then you'll bring in the Serum Powders on the play. At least that's what I did. The last Pact of Negation, which I do think is really important. We really need this against other counterspell decks. Nature's Claims for any artifacts or enchantments we need to get rid of, which do come up quite often. And then the Veil of Summers are also for any control decks or discard decks. You bring them in alongside the ley lines, but sometimes not. They are a green card. So we essentially are playing with a 12-card sideboard, but as you watch the video, you will see that we don't really need the additional cards. We're either winning on the first turn, second turn, or we are, for the most part, dead. So I hope you enjoy. Leave a like, comment below if you enjoy this deck, if you want to see me play any other deck, and make sure you hit the subscribe button. I would really appreciate it. Let's jump into the video. Oh, first round of Turbo Neobrand that I have dubbed it. Official. If we 5-0, it better damn say Turbo Neobrand. Alright. So, the good news is that we are on the play. That is good for us. We want to be on the play as often as possible. That allows us to actually win without disruption very often. All right, so we're gonna play first. All right, so what we are looking for is a combination of this and some lands, and we do not have any lands. We are going to have to mulligan this. Now this hand has lands and these, but doesn't have the other ways to win, so we're gonna have to mulligan again. Come on. Okay, so this hand is super interesting. This hand is super interesting because we have the pieces, but we don't have all of the lands. We do have a free mulligan, quote-unquote free, with the Serum Powder, so it's not like that bad, but I actually think that we're just going to keep it. We have a total of 15 lands in the deck. That's including the flipped land, the spell lands. So there are 14 lands left in the deck. We're going to be putting 2 cards on the bottom that are not lands. So approximately, like, we should get 1 land within the first 3 turns, probably somewhere around a little over 3 turns, if the math is right, something like that. I'm just doing mental math. I'm going to keep it. If we draw the land next turn, we just win. So I'm going to keep it. I'm going to bottom the Serum Powder because it doesn't do anything. And then I'm going to bottom the Nourishing Shoal. And this is because if our opponent does discard us on turn 1, we still have all the pieces of the combo. So we're going to click done. We're going to play this land, and then we're going to pray to the Magic the Gathering gods to give us a land. If we get a land, And don't discard us. Just don't discard us. Okay, we should be playing against Blue-Red Murktide, which is a deck that I love. It's my other favorite deck. They are going to bauble us, which is not very... I'm not very happy about them bobbling us. They're going to look at the top card of our deck, and they might figure out what deck that we are on when they do this. So please don't reveal anything too badly. Because if... Okay. So if we draw a non-land, and they just go land, go, and hold up counterspell, I don't think that we can win. So just draw a land. Oh my god. I don't think they're ready for what is about to happen. Cast Allosaurus Rider.
You like jazz?
Cast Neoform. Put Gristlebrand into play. Draw 7 cards. Oh my goodness. I love this deck so much. And now they should lose. There really is no way to they shouldn't be able to win. Turn 2 win. They could Brazen Borrower. That is probably something that they are thinking about, is bouncing the Grizzlebrand back to our hands. That should be the only way that they can get rid of it. They also can try to turn on Delirium or play a Murktide in order to block and stall. But assuming that this Grizzlebrand connects, which they're about to put it to the test right now, like, do you have a Brazen Borrower? Oh, they're going to try to Lightning Bolt it. Okay. They're going to try to kill the Grizzlebrands by turning on their Dragon's Rage Channeler. We're going to let them go. We're going to let them go to blocks before we do anything. Okay. So we're going to let the Dragon's Rage Channeler trigger resolve, which it did. Now we have to either hit a Nourishing Shoal or a Pact of Negation in order to be able to keep going. And we have 8 draws to do it with this Manamorphose. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try thinning out the deck, searching for the worms. I'm going to search for... do I want the second worm? Or do I want the next Allosaurus Rider? If we had a Nourishing Shoal, then we gain 15 and we just keep going. I'm going to take the worm anyway, just in case. Okay, so we're going to draw 7 cards. It's going to be the first thing that we do. And, okay, we hit Pact of Negation, so we are still alive. However, just barely. So we're going to cast the Pact of Negation. We're going to counter a spell. We're going to let him decide if he wants to block or not, which he won't. There's no reason for him to block now. He's going to take 8. I'm going to gain 8 life, which is super, super important. Now we have a decision. I'm going to play my lands, for sure. The one that doesn't deal damage to us. But now we have to make a choice of, do I want to draw 7 more cards and hope to hit a Nourishing Shoal? Or do I want to just pass? I think we're going to pass, but I'm going to play the Allosaurus Rider first because it's free, literally. It is literally free. So we'll do that. And then we'll say go. And then we discard Grizzlebrands, Serum Powder. Because it doesn't do anything. Now, what they're probably going to do is attack go? I would assume. We'll take 3. I'm at 9. Because here's what's going to happen. Is that they think, what they think is that we're going to lose to all these triggers. Right? These say pay 5 mana or you lose. Well, we're going to play the card that says we cannot lose the game. And it has split second, so it can't be countered. Yes! Yes! The turn 2, I mean, it's not technically dead on turn 2, but it is the turn 2 win. Serum Powder did not really do very much that game. We just kind of drew it, but it doesn't matter as long as we win. What would I want to bring in against them? So they're going to have an insane amount of counter spells. They can play a mixture of Flusterstorm, Force Negation, uh, Mystical Dispute, Spell Pierce. These are all cards that are like super playable in their deck. I think the card that I'm most afraid of is like the Force Negation because it's free. So I'm more inclined on the draw to board out the Serum Powders because we're not really going for speed as much and bring in like the Veil of Summers. And I could also see the Pact of Negation since we kind of just like we like want to go off. It's not good against Flusterstorm, but it's good against the rest. So I'm okay with cutting with the Angel's Grace and then bringing the Pact, and then hopefully this is good enough. Our deck is like very odd against counterspells decks because they need the mana to be able to cast them. And ooh. Okay, so we have to mull this hand. It doesn't do anything. Let's see what they do as well. They mulligans. Okay, so that's good for us. So we have to mulligan again. Okay, we're gonna keep this hand because this hand has all the pieces. We can't win on turn 1 with it, but it has all of the pieces, which is the most important part. So we have 3 lands, we have the Summoner's Pact, and we have Eldritch Evolution. We're probably not going to win this game. I am fairly sure. Most likely not going to win this game, but that's it is what it is. I think that they're deciding whether they want to play a creature on turn 1 or if they want to hold up a counter spell. Okay, so they're going to play Ragavan, yeah, on turn 1. Okay, so that's fairly good. That just increased our clock by a full turn. Sadly, sadly, we are going to have to just go for it. They're going to connect with Ragavan. They're going to have 3 mana available to them. And then we'll probably have to go for it. We could draw... We could also wait until we draw Veil of Summer. That does nothing. Okay, cool. We could wait for us to draw Veil of Summer or a Pact of Negation, but... That's interesting. It's how many times... The question is, how many times do I want to let this Ragavan connect? Which I guess that doesn't really matter. How many turns do I want to wait until we go for the win? Because if we go all in and they have a counterspell, we're almost never recovering. I guess we do this first. That changes nothing. All right, chat. I'm going to let you decide. This is for all the lucky people that are watching the Twitch stream. This is the benefit of being here while I'm doing the video. Do we go for it right now? And if they have it, we lose. Or do we wait and hope that we draw the thing that helps us win? Chat is 50-50. 50-50. And I understand why. I understand why. Let's think about this mathematically. We have 8 cards in our deck that we want to draw in order to help us win. 8 out of 51. So realistically, within like 7 draws, right? Somewhere around like 7 draws, we should hit 1. Yeah, it's slightly over 6, yeah. With that being said, I don't think that we can win if we wait till 7 draws in order to find it. So we're going to go balls to the wall. All right, let's just do it. If you have it, you have it. If you don't have it, we win. No! No! Be a consider. All right, all right, all right, all right. However, let's see. We were 2 away! No! No! Never look, chat. Never look. Never look. All right. Now, this is where things get super spicy complicated. I have become the firm believer that we just want to turn 1 as often as possible. So, while we are on the play, we board out all of the stuff that we just brought and we just bring these back in and we just go for it. That is just my philosophy on the deck. We want a turn 1 Grizzlebrand as often as possible. We lose to only Force of Negation. All right, this hand wins on turn 2. All right, we're keeping. This hand wins on turn 2. That's pretty good. That's pretty. I can't ask for very much more. I mean, I will take the turn 2 win. Go. Ah, holding up a Spell Pierce. Okay. Well, we are going for it. 1, 2. Oh my god, it resolved. We're in an interesting... Yes! Yes! Oh my goodness. First match of the video. And we would have gotten there. We would have drawn 7 cards. We would have hit the Nourishing Shoal, gained 15 life, and then been able to draw like 14 more cards. So we did it. All right, our second match. after that. So let's hope it's as good. We did not win the die roll, so that kind of sucks, but so be it. Okay, our opponent is playing Gigantha, which could mean a lot of different things. What we hope for is most likely Tron, because they're going to be a little bit slower. This hand is good. This hand wins on turn 2. So we're going to keep it and hope that our opponent doesn't Thoughtseize us. Let's just hope they're playing Tron. Shit. Well, this is the worst case scenario. I think this is a little silly. Oh my goodness. We are in a very interesting position. I think I want to concede. So my thought process is if we show them our hand, they immediately know what we are. They take Neoform, most likely, because it's the best card. And they're playing a mixture of blue and black, which are both good against what we are doing. So I'm going to concede, because I would rather not show him what we are doing. Go to the second game. Attempt to kill him on the first turn. I'm wondering if we can cut an Angel's Grace for a Pact. Because they might bring in Force and Negation if they have it. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. I want to bring in the Veil of Summers, like I really do, but my goal is to try to kill them on the first turn anyway. Game 2, we're going to bring in the majority. We're going to bring in the Ley Lines and the Veils, most likely. But my goal is to hopefully kill them on the first turn. Right. The other thing which Twitch chat has definitely pointed out is that by conceding, they could very well know that we're on this deck, but this deck is not very popular. So for them to be able to, like, for us to concede to a Thoughtseize and then for them to be like, oh, they're on Neobrand would be very big brained. It'd be very big brained. Like, they'd have to, like, they'd have to know. Okay, so this is interesting. This is interesting because we have all of the pieces, but if this Serum Powder was any one of the sideboard pieces, then we could be able to keep this hand. But because we can't beat a turn 1 Thoughtseize, we have to mulligan. And interesting to note is that we have a bunch of the combo pieces in our hand already, which makes me not want a Serum Powder. Because I don't want to get rid of all these abilities to combo off on the first turn, because we have to do it on the first turn. So with that being said, I'm going to actually mulligan instead of powdering. And then we're probably going to lose. We have to mulligan again. And we have to mulligan again. Wow. We were really close. This can't get there, right? Oh my god, this hand can get there. Chat, are you ready? We need to be the luckiest Magic the Gathering players of all time. I mean the luckiest. We need to draw either another Manamorphose for us to keep going, or a Neoform. And if we don't, we probably lose. Are we ready? Oh, we drew another Manamorphose, which is fine. I accidentally misclicked, but it didn't matter because we drew the Manamorphose. Blue. Come on! No. No! We lose. I'm surprised we even hit the Manamorphose. All right. I'll concede to the turn one Thoughtseize only because I conceded to it the first game. And it's way funnier to just do it that way. We could have had a chance, actually, but I think it's more funny just to concede to the turn one Thoughtseize and move on. Unbeatable! That card is unbeatable. All right, y'all. Here we go. Round number 3. Our opponent will not have a Thoughtseize on turn 1. Guaranteed. Locking it in. No Thoughtseize on the first turn. All right, we have a good Serum Powder hands. We're getting rid of some Summoners packs, which kind of stinks, but the rest of it doesn't really matter, so we're just going to powder it away. We have another powderable hand. It doesn't have any of the pieces. We have to mulligan this hand. It has some of the pieces. It has all the pieces, except it's going to take way too long to get there. We have another powderable hand. Again, all the pieces, but it's going to take too long to get there. And the cool thing about the way the mulligans work is if we click this powder button, we're going to be able to put a card on the bottom first before we take our mulligan. So we're going to put the Allosaurus Rider back because that's what the card we really want to get. Okay, so this has one of the pieces, but not all of them. We are on the draw, so we could technically try to go for the neobrand on the neo form on the first turn of our turn if we draw it, but I would rather just mulligan to 5. I think it's just I would rather just not risk our game on attempting to draw a 4 of. Okay, so we're kind of in a position where we have to keep this hand. It's not the worst, but it's definitely not the best. We have to put the Grizzlebrand on the bottom, which is nice. And we have to put a Pact on the bottom because we need these green cards. We have all the pieces, but this is kind of like the first two hands where they were just too slow. So hopefully our opponent is playing a non-interactive deck, which this says interactive deck, sadly. That's pretty good. So if we get a Neo form, then we can do it on turn 2 with a counterspell backup. So actually, that was actually a really good draw. Actually a really good draw. I assume they're getting they're playing Jeskai. So Jeskai has a bunch of interesting removal spells and counter spells. Oh, they're playing 4 color. So but it's not Yorion, so it's not elementals. Maybe it's like a 60 card Omnath deck. Okay, so we're kind of in an interesting position, where if I play this lands and then I cast the Manamorphose and I make blue and green and I don't hit Neoform, then I'm not going to be able to have a blue mana in case we do draw a Neoform. However, in order to cast our Eldritch Evolution, we need a land anyway. So if that's the case, I'm just going to play the Turn Timber and I'm going to go for it because I want to get closer to a land anyway. Okay, like we didn't hit it, which is fine. We did hit another green card, which is okay. Yeah, but what we really need is now any land. A Manamorphose would be okay as well. Ren and 6, okay. So this is okay for us because they're tapped out, so no counter spells, not that they really play any. The only card we have to worry about is like Solitude. Okay. That's not great. What's kind of nice though about playing against their deck is that game one they should not have very much interaction for us. The only real way for them to deal with what we are doing is with a Solitude. Other than that, they really shouldn't play any counter spells. They are playing 60 cards, so that's a little bit sussy. Little sussy. Also, something important to note of that I believe I did one of the last games is it's important to make sure that you don't auto yield to your City of Brass's triggers, because there is a world where you need to be able to make the mana and cast an Angel's Grace so you don't die. I know that I did it, but definitely something to make sure of in the future to be careful. Am I getting Vendilion clicked? Oh. Yeah, okay. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, it didn't even matter. They like tapped our land in hopes that it slows us down, but in reality, it's just our deck that's slowing us down. You don't even need it. I got you, bro. You can have your turn. It's all you. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I think we figured out a way to lose. Our opponent is about to cast Indomitable Creativity and put an Archon into play. I'm assuming. Do we have a way to win from there? We do. We do have a way to win. We put more Allosaurus Shepherds into play. Allosaurus Riders in play. Yeah, okay. I mean, we're not out of the runnings. Like we're not dead. So that's smart. Okay, get your damage in. Yeah, this makes more sense. This kind of start with Indomitable Creativity. And now they're gonna make 2 Archons. Oh, they're gonna make 1 Archon. Well, I can't force a negation it, so or pact a negation it, so it resolves. We are going to discard an Eldritch Evolution. We want an untapped land pretty badly. Pretty badly. Pretty badly. Ugh. Ugh. Can we win? Six, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2. No, we can't win. Wait, can we win? There is a theoretical world where we win. So right now they have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 points of damage on the field. We need to fade any burn spell, and we need to cast Allosaurus Rider. We need to draw a untapped land. Oh wait, no, I think the discard makes us lose. I'm gonna get rid of the Pact of Negation. We can't really use it anymore. So we need to draw an untapped land. We need to cast this Allosaurus Rider, Eldritch Evolution it into the Grizzlebrand, gain 7 life, draw 7 cards, put another Allosaurus Rider into play in order to fade the Archon, as well as hit another Nourishing Shoal, which is not exiled, and they have an Indomitable Creativity, and I'm gonna concede. I know that we're not dead, but fuck it. They already know what our deck is doing, so we'll gain 7 life anyway. We're dead. We're very much dead. But we'll just let him do it anyway. and also take a look at their deck, which is pretty nice to know. So to fairies, I assume 4. Oh my god. Prismari commands, Seiju, Explore. I don't see any counter spells, so Spell Pierce, 2 of them. So they're probably gonna board in more. Let's see if we hit the land anyway. Huh. Okay. All right. GG's. GG's. Yeah, there's nothing we can do. Nothing we could do there. So I'm gonna go with my philosophy of the way that we did it in the first game, and that is just to board in the Pact of Negation and then click Submit, and then we're gonna pray that the Magic Gods decide to bless us with a turn 1 win. Turn 1 win. Turn 1 win. We need to get we need to get pretty lucky. We don't need luck. I have the power of God and anime on my side. We'll be fine. How's it going, chat? What's up? I wonder what they're bringing in. I'm not entirely sure what their sideboard looks like. We could look it up, I guess, if we wanted to. So every deck that's playing 5-color Indomitable Creativity, their sideboard consists of a Mystical Dispute, stuff that matters for us, 2 Flusterstorms, a Mystical Dispute, a Dress Down, and that's it. They play 3 Spell Pierce in the main. So I'm not worried about too much. They only really have a few permission spells, a few counter spells. So, all right, let's. His hand has all the pieces, but it's too slow. We don't even have enough lands to play the thing, so we're just gonna mulligan it. Ah, shit, chat. Oh, shit. We have the turn 2. All right, I'm keeping it. I mean, I'm not keeping a turn 2 win. I mean, we're just not. I'm just not keeping it, you know? All right. Please. I'm going for it on turn 1 no matter what. I don't think that there is a world that I'm not playing this on the second turn. No, that's the card we needed. Yeah, we just I don't think that we can wait. I think that we need to go for it. And if they have it, they have it. Like no. 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 All right, GG's. We were really close. We were really, really close. I guess I could have kept going, but in reality, it's like the draw go gameplay is going to be such a pain in order to get back. Like we would have, like even if this was our draw, we would still not been able to cast the second Allosaurus Rider for another few turns. So it is what it is. All right, round number 4. We won the die roll. We get to Serum Powder a hand away. Now this hand is really close. No, it's not. I lied. We have to mulligan. This hand is closer, but we still have to mulligan. I'm going to powder, and I'm going to put away the Chancellor. Now, this hand was actually really close. If this is a lands, then we got it. So we have to mulligan it. Now this hand wins on turn 2. So we will keep this. We're going to bottom 1. There are more green cards in our deck than there are lands, so we're going to bottom a green card. We want to bottom this green card specifically. And I know City Brass is better, but I just don't want to deal with the triggers. All right. We're playing against Burn. Burn's a great matchup. Burn is a great matchup. Give me a green card. There it is. All right, GG's. Go. Oh, God. Burn cannot beat this in the first game. They literally cannot beat it. He's going to attack. He's not going to attack. Oh. That was a fantastic draw as well. Now I don't even need to draw for a pact negation. They might cast a Skullcrack here. I think that's what they're going to go for. If they are casting a Skullcrack. That's kind of funny. The question is, do I want to draw some... I think I do want to draw. If we hit Nourishing Shoal... Oh, boy. Well, we're kind of locked into drawing, so we're going to just draw again. Okay, we hit. I think I could just gain 7 more life, and realistically, I don't really think that they can win. Yeah, like, you don't... I don't have to gain the life this turn, but I don't think that you can win, buddy. We can discard this, and this, and... we don't need one of these anymore. Guess one of these is fine, too. Like, having at least one for 7 mana. Yeah, I didn't think you were winning that one, bud. All right, so luckily, we don't really have to worry about much of what they're doing. We actually can just kind of like combo without any sort of interaction. So we're just going to board in the Pact and bring out an Angel's Grace and then click Submit because we could bring in the ley lines for their burn, but I realistically think that just putting a Grizzlebrand into play just wins the game anyway. This hand is really close to winning on turn 1. It's really close. If we had a second one, or if we hit a land, no, we already have a land. Yeah, we have to powder it. Yeah, we can powder it. Free mulligan. That's pretty good. This hand wins on turn 1. I love the turn 1 win. I love it. I love turn 1 wins. Finally. Suspended Riftbolt. Sadly, buddy, that's not going to be enough. Yeah, okay. I'm just going to draw 7. Gain 15 life. And then say go. And then discard a Serum Powder. We've won. The The game should be over. Should be. He could Path to Exile. They could Deflecting Palm. But they're realistically dead. They're skull cracking now. Okay. Sure. I will attack you for 8 in the air. Go. I will once again attack you 8 in the air. And then you're going to cast Deflecting Palm. And then I am going to draw 7 cards. Oh, we haven't hit an Angel's Grace yet, huh? How many Nourishing Shoals and how many Angel's Graces have we exiled? None. Okay, so we can draw another 7 then. And feel relatively safe. Wow. I mean, okay, so we gained 15 more life. Now do I really care about taking 8? If next time a source of deal damage to you, prevent that damage. Okay, so they don't even gain the life. So I'm just gonna like let this happen, I think. I don't think it actually does very much. So yeah, like I'll take 8. You got it, buddy. I'll discard this and this and this and this and all the cards that like don't really matter anymore. I should have played the Allosaurus Rider. That's my mistake. I was just too focused on how big and beefy my dude is. Just the Grizzle Daddy. He's just so thick, you know? We did it. The turn 1 win. All right. Because you either win or you don't. We are on turn play. Wow, we are on the play. We have to mulligan. Oh, we're so close. We're so close. This hand is actually kind of risky. Like, there's a universe that we keep this hand because we can technically draw into it, but I'm gonna powder it away and put a Neoform on the bottom. We have to mulligan this one too. Mull to 4. Ugh.
You're not my dad!
Yeah, DJ, thank you for the sub. So I think we're gonna powder this away. I think we're gonna powder this. And powder the worm. We can't win on turn 1 anymore. We can win on turn 2. Oh, we have bottom 3 cards. The lands. I'm going to keep this hand. There's 0 chance that we win this game, but I want to know what our opponent is playing to decide how I want to mulligan or how I want to sideboard, even though there's very little to sideboard. Urza's Saga. I actually drew a land. That's pretty cool. Did we exile a Grizzlebrand? We did not. Okay. So there's still 1 Grizzlebrand left in our deck. There's like a world where we win this game, but I don't think it's this world. Oh, we're playing as Amulet Titan. Amulet Titan is a very interesting matchup because they don't really have a way to interact with us. I don't think at all. I don't think they do. I don't even think in game 2. Let's go with so we'll just F6. They can do whatever they want. And let's look at an Amulet Titan list. Graph Digger's Cage. That is a very annoying card. Other than that, there's nothing. There's literally nothing. They might just win right now, which is kind of funny. What's the world that we win this game? They need to not have the ability to play a Titan, and we need to draw land, Neoform. Interesting. Okay, Karn gets liquid metal coating. So land Neoform doesn't do it anymore. We need land Neoform. But our opponent is still not doing anything. So sure. All right, there. I mean, that is all right. the dream is alive, I guess. If we win this game, it is going to be monumental for all neobrand players. Oh, he just gets to stone brain me now. No, we lose. Oopsies, we're dead. How close were we? Not. The answer is not. Okay. So, game 2 on the play, I'm not gonna bring in anything. Game 3 on the draw, we're gonna bring in these. So, we're just gonna click. I'm wondering if Pact of Negation is not good in this matchup. Can they? No, I feel like we need Pact of Negation still in some quantity. Maybe not as many though. Like maybe I can bring in a nature. I can bring in some nature's claims. When we win, we kind of just win. So let's give us the option to be able to like not win on the first turn just in case. This is a mulligan's powder. This hand is also a powder. How many Allosaurus Riders have we gotten rid of? We've gotten rid of 1 and 1 Neoform and 1 Summoner's Pact and 1 Eldritch Evolution. So we can powder again. Oh, this hand was so close. Well, this hand is also pretty close, but we have the mulligan. Well, it's this or 4, so I'm keeping this, bottoming this, and then I mean we're gonna go for the first turn win. I mean, reveal this, make the mana. If we hit Neoform or another Manamorpho, I mean those are really our only hits. So just hit Neoform. Okay, we didn't hit. That is still okay. We still have outs. We still have outs. Even if they play Graph Digger's Cage. Ooh, that's interesting. So, interesting spot. Do I Nature's Claim their Urza Saga or their Amulet? So their Urza Saga can get Grafdigger's Cage. Am I afraid on losing? Am I afraid of losing the following turn? I think I'm just gonna pass. This could be wrong, but I really wanna hold this Nature's Claim in case they don't just kill us. Maybe that's me being too conservative. I don't know. I don't know. This is a tough turn. This is a very tough turn. Okay. That doesn't necessarily do anything. Okay, that's their turn. That's great for us. Okay, so now I'm gonna go for it, and if we don't hit it, I'm just gonna Nature's Claim their Urza Saga. Oh my god, we hit it. Alright, well. Is it good enough? Get a worm? Gain 15 life? Summoner's Pact for another. We have one Angel's Grace in our deck. That's not good. We hit it. Oh my god, we hit it. I can't believe we hit it. Play this. Cast this. Go. Discard. Discard. All right, I mean, the goal is for you to not kill me right now. But I'm also a little worried that I don't think that we can. Yeah, okay. Maybe I should have pacted that. I guess I wanted to make sure that I counter like a Titan if they play it. Yeah, I think they're gonna try to play a Titan right now. They haven't played any other lands? Okay. All right, we're gonna get them. I think we're gonna get them. Oh my god, we're really gonna get them. They're gonna lose. They're gonna actually go. Oh my god, they're actually gonna lose. I think they're contemplating like what is going on because they know that we have all these packs. They do see Angel's Graces in the. Okay. They maybe they're trying to fish for information. Maybe they like want to know if we have a basic in our deck, and that was like the purpose of that. So we're gonna stack all of these, and then we're just gonna proceed to not lose the game. All right, all right, all right. That was really, really close. Really close. How do I want to change this? What do we want to do on the draw? We have all of our Nature's Claims in. Not having many Angel's Graces was super scary. That was super scary. And the Pact of Negation, both the Pact of Negation and the Angel's Grace were so important there. I'm wondering maybe if Manamorphose needs to get cut to some degree in order to be able to fit some of these Angel's Graces and stuff back in. Because we kind of need these. I know they can play Cavernous Souls and they can get us, but like, especially the Angel's Grace, I'm going to bring out 1 for 1. I feel like we really need more of these to make sure that we don't lose. Because they can just Titan and then attack us, and then we can Angel's Grace to live. Ah, the Snap Keep? The 5-land hand? And we can pay for Pact. I mean, that's pretty good. Probably the easiest mulligan of today. Wonder what they're going to do. They're in much of a more interesting position than we are, because they should not have many cards that are good against us. They mulled, okay. We are also mulliganing. What does this hand do? It does nothing. We have to mulligan again. What are they going to do? They only have 1 card in their entire deck that I'm particularly scared of. They kept. That's not good. Mulligan. Okay, we get to powder. That's cool. Put this one on the bottom. And a lands. Oh. It's close. It's so close. All right, I'm going to keep it. We need green card land. And if they play a Grafdigger's Cage... Okay, it's not a Grafdigger's Cage. Green card and land. There is green card. And it's castable green card. I'm not going to cast it, though, because if we draw the land, then we win. We sadly need it. Oh my god. Wow. I am I cannot believe we just hit it. Well, so interesting also to note that our version of the deck is probably worse against Amulet Titan because we can't just win the game. Like, we very much need to end the game because they also can combo us. I think that we were a little bit faster this time, though. Luckily. I'm not sure what combination of cards they need, but that's definitely a reasonable start. Like, I don't think I'm afraid of very much besides them actually just killing us. Now, this is an interesting question. Do I want to counter this? If I want to counter it, I have to draw cards. So I'm going to draw cards first. We can't counter any... Okay. Yeah, so we're going to counter this. We should have another Angel's Grace in the deck somewhere. We can't counter Titan, so... But we can just cast all these packs first to gain a bunch of life. We can technically keep going. One other thing that's kind of nice about this is that in the regular version of neobrands, you have Endurance, which helps you stop from decking. And in this, you can Angel's Grace and prevent yourself from drawing the last card. So... I mean, we can technically keep going. Do we want to keep going? How many Nourishing Shoals have we seen? 1, 2. We've seen 2, so there's 2 more left in the deck. We can thin ourselves out even more if we want to. Yeah, I mean, we're not casting this pact right now because we really need to And do we have a worm already? We do. Okay, so I can get an Allosaurus Rider, and then we can draw some more cards for funsies. Okay, we did hit. Cool. We can gain 15 more life. And we can pack the negation this. And then we even have both Angel's Graces, which is super, super sweet. So we're going to pass. Got our turn. We're going to stack our triggers. We're going to cast Angel's Grace. We can't lose now. Good. Good. Okay. Our turn. We get to draw. Play a Gemstone Mine. We're going to cast all of our Allosaurus Riders. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Nature's Claim this. Enter combat. All right. I think we win. We can discard this, 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 and the lands. 2 lands. I guess we could discard the Neoforms. I don't think that it really matters, to be honest. These don't really do anything, so it should have been these, but how many Nature's Claims have we seen? We've seen 1, 2, 3. Okay, so there are no more Nature's Claims left in our deck. There are no more Angel's Graces left in our deck. And there is no more Pact of Negations left in our deck. So there are no cards in our deck that matter anymore. And we won. Sweet! Oh! So sweet. And, well, of course, we're going to open up the one treasure chest that we get. And we're going to crack a garbage. All right. So, thoughts on the deck list. So, I think that the serum powders are still worth testing. I got to play a little bit before this league with this deck, just a few of the 2-man, 10 entry points or whatever, 20 entry points.
Like jazz.
And I think that the serum powder is really worth testing. I think that this Angel's Grace and serum powder is a angle that a lot of people are not expecting of this deck. And I think that trying to increase the consistency of the turn 1 win is just so important. I know that the deck can win on turn 2 and turn 3 relatively consistently. But even so, I feel like the main draw to playing this deck is getting a Grizzlebrand into play and then proceeding to win the game from there. And if that is the case, then I want to increase the percentage chance that we can do that. And a majority of the time, against a lot of decks, Grizzlebrand just wins the game anyway. Like we saw against Burn. We put a Grizzlebrand in play. The game is over. It is over. Against, there's very few decks that can outright kill a Grizzlebrand. Murktide, they needed to bolt and bolt, right? And we hit a counterspell, and they just had no chance. There are not many decks that can destroy target creature, and even if they can, we have Pact Negation. So I think that playing these serum powders is worth it. I think that there is a list that is somewhat like this that is very much playable. I think that changes in the future are, I think that this Angel's Grace, I think that the 4th Angel's Grace could be the 4th Pact of Negation. I think that is realistic in terms of just making sure that when you go off that you're able to hit a counterspell to keep your thing alive. But it's also very dicey because you need those Angel's Graces in order to pair with the Pact of Negation. So it's not a guarantee. It's not like 100% locked in of like how to build it. I wish there was just one more slot. It could be a Manamorphose, but I really feel like you want the I really feel like you want the additional, ability to get the turn one win. Like you saw that the Manamorphose dug us deeper. I know it was very lucky that we hit a Neoform, but it did dig us deeper. That is what the card is there to do. It's there to fix our mana off of the double green that we so often may have because we're just mulliganing so aggressively. And we want to be able to get blue and green in order to Neoform on turn one. So sideboard, I think the ley lines are good, but we haven't really gotten to see them in that league. I think that the Nature's Claims were super important, and it makes me kind of want to put the Beseju in. I think the Gemstone Caverns are just not good. I think the fourth Pact is good. I think that we want the ability to board into a fourth one because I'm really afraid of Force Negation. And then Veil of Summer, I think that Veil of Summer is like a necessary card as well versus like discard decks. I'm going to bring these in on like the draw most likely against a lot of decks. Like I want these against the counterspell decks, but I don't want these against the counterspell decks. So at the end of the day, I think that there are like 3 cards here in reality in the sideboard that I want to change to some degree. And I think it could be like Beseju, a fourth Nature's Claim, and who knows? But that's it. That is the deck. I hope that you enjoyed watching. Make sure you leave a like and comment down below. And let me know what kind of deck that you want to see in the future, as well as any mistakes that I made or suggestions for this one. So have a good rest of your whatever. Goodbye.